day to everybody. Great to be back on the field and get back to work. You know, before I talk a little football, I know it's been a hard week for our university, and when it comes to the Department of Justice investigation, I want you to know that I learned about the investigation and the facts alleged by the government at the same time that everybody else did when the news broke Tuesday. I was not aware of any of it before then, and like so many of the USC family, totally shocked by the allegations. And because this is an ongoing review of the matter, myself, our staff, and our players cannot answer any questions on that matter, and I hope you will respect that. As far as staffing goes, we've added a bunch of staff. We've lost a couple. I'm going to go through that just real fast. You know, we were able to finish over the break. We were able to finish our strength and conditioning staff by adding Darren Mustin, Ty Webb, and Jared Klingenberg. You know, with the leadership of Aaron Osmus, these men are going to do an amazing job with our kids and preparing them for the upcoming season. In regards to recruiting, we lost a really good man in Eric Ziskin. In February, Eric told me that he is going to get out of the profession, spend more time with family, and choose another line of work. Wish him nothing but the best. He's done such a great job for us and over the years, and has been a tremendous service to our program. We are excited to add Kelsey Winkle to the recruiting staff. She's taken over the Director of Campus Recruiting, and we also welcome Gordon Thomas to our operations staff to help manage our day-to-day operations of our team and assist our recruiting staff. Finally, we've added 4 new quality control coaches that you've seen out here today. Coach John David Baker, Seth Dagey, Sean Howe, and Joe Bolden will be with us. As far as the first week of practice, it was neat to go back and take an entire week to review. I got to go down to Houston and do what every coach should do on spring break, visit their mother-in-law. So I spent 3 days with my mother-in-law, which meant I watched a lot of film and got the opportunity to really study where we were. And coming out of that first week, I really saw how fast our kids played on both sides of the ball, and I really thought it was from simplifying the schemes. I even heard it from our kids, how simple Simon things were, how fast they could play, and you can see it with the likes of a Devin Williams, where he was from his freshman year and now coming into his sophomore years, as well as others. You could tell the individual work that we've done, adding, basically 30 to 40 minutes a day of extra individual work has really helped us fundamental and technique-wise. And then, the reality, I think, really of being able to see exactly, having refs out here every day, seeing the penalties, flags fly, making repercussions right off the bat. Kids understand exactly what they've done, and they know that there's consequences for it. I thought that helped us. It was evident to see defensively from a bigger front with personnel in the run game. I think it's going to help us a bunch. And then going to a pass rush game on third down, we really worked at that last Saturday. And to be able to see the defensive kids come off the ball with true pass rushers, substituting that Greyhound package, as we call it, was really neat to see. Overall, I thought the kids had a blast. The attitude was great. From now, the next 4 weeks, I think, are critical for us. I talked to our kids today about keeping the same standard of play as they did in week 1. And I thought defensively that happened today. I thought we were a little rusty offensively, pitching and catching. I'm hoping that comes back into play pretty quickly. For us, this week will be what you saw today. We're really focusing on 2 areas. We've added pressure to practice now and seeing how our guys will handle that offensively. You could tell it was the first time we've seen pressure today. Also, we really worked the red zone a bunch today. And we'll do that again Thursday. And then Saturday we'll have a situational scrimmage, which we look forward to getting to. From an injury standpoint, just want to let you know we got 1 big man back. Bernard Shermer came back. Tried Caleb Tremblay today, just wasn't ready. And then Trevor Trout on Saturday suffered a torn bicep and had surgery on it over spring break and is going to be, unfortunately, out for the rest of training camp here. So with that, any football questions that you have, I will take.
What's the plan and timeline to replace Eric?
For us right now, it's probably going to be in the next 2 to 3 weeks. We've already started. Eric was nice enough to told us he would get us through spring break. I think he was the Thursday before spring break happened was his last day with us, and that's going to give us the opportunity over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We've already got some candidates that we'll be interviewing. It's a little bit off time, with spring ball and interviewing, but I'm hoping by the end of spring ball, when we get into the recruiting period, which is April 15th to May 31st, that we'll have our guy in play. As you know, it's such a big hire. It's like having an OC, a DC, a special teams coordinator, strength and conditioning. This is a big hire for us, and I'm not going to rush into it, especially when that recruiting piece comes April 15th to May 31st. I'll have somebody in play by the end of spring ball.
There's a lot made about that staff being undersized a little bit. Is there a hope in the future to expand that entire recruiting and support staff?
Well, right now it is a 4-man team. You added Thomas Gordon, which helps with 5, and then you have your graphic designer. So it's really 6 people in that area, plus all your coaching staff, plus your GAs, your QCs can be involved with on-campus recruiting and things like that. So right now, that's where we're at.
This is the most analysts that you've had. How different is that making life for the coaching staff with this many analysts?
I think, for us, it's probably normal on the West Coast, probably under the East Coast, but, we've always had basically four GAs and had the availability to have anywhere between 6 or 7 QCs and 10 full-time coaches and go to work. But that's normal for the Pac-12.
Is this a bigger staff though that you've had?
It's got a couple more guys on it, and I appreciate the investment that our athletic department has made to be able to supply that staff.
Among your quality control guys, John David Baker was with Graham at North Texas.
Yes.
Does that help to bring in somebody who's kind of familiar with his offense?
Yeah, the system is very similar, and the system is very similar to the Texas Tech system with the availability, as you've seen, a little bit more run game. But the pass game is extremely similar, and to be able to have some guys like John David, like Seth Dagey, who was with Mike Jinks at Bowling Green, and Mike came from Tech, with Cliff. So you've got some individuals there that know the system extremely well, and you can tell they've got great adeptness to it and great knowledge of it.
Coach,
Yeah.
it's been we're about 4 practices into spring ball.
Yeah.
How have the quarterbacks adjusted from the transition from offensive coordinators from T to Graham?
Well, I thought in the first week I was extremely happy. I walked away from those 3 practices a little bit giddy, to be honest with you, over spring break, and having the opportunity to watch them not only make high completion ratios, but they were really getting the ball out. And today was really nice. We gave them their first taste of adversity with some pressure, which is good for them, and need to do it even more this week. And then you saw us in that red zone, and anytime you get in that tight red zone, it gets hard. Completions get hard, and decision making has to go up immensely. So we're putting them in some positions where they're going to fail, but hopefully they learn from it, and ultimately that'll make them more successful quarterbacks at the end.
Is there anybody on defense that's catching your eye yet?
Right now I've been very pleased with the interior linebackers, the whole core. I think is doing a wonderful job. Obviously I expected from John, but to watch EA and Jordan play, to be able to see a Giuliano move back there, Kanai moved that back there, to see Raylan Goforth just walk on here and start making plays as a freshman. That's been neat to see. And then I really think the guy that catches your eye is Drake. As a newcomer, Drake and Nick have shined a little bit. I saw both of them make some nice plays today.
One more.
You talked about how important it is to replace Eric Ziskin. Just what are you looking for in terms of traits at that position?
Well, obviously, he's got to have organizational skills as well as being able to run a department, be able to scout, be able to have personality when people come on campus. It's somebody that has to be able to basically be like your general manager, and that's what EZ did for us. You look at the job he did over several years now. If I can grab another EZ, that would be great. He's hard to find, but we'll do a good job of locating him. All righty, guys. Thank you.